Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the first of 3 cubes dedicated to John Williams, the Anthology, Volume 1. This covers the years 1969 to 1990. I wish they'd do his TV stuff too. We'll see what happens in the next 2 cubes. But this is going to be quite the project. It gathers together most of his film scores. At least they've been curated somehow. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. At least the ones that were on Sony or one of its sub-labels. And oh, what a wonderful collection it is. My goodness, John Williams is a fabulous composer. I've heard his concert music, some of which I've liked and some of which I haven't. But as a film composer, he is almost without peer, quite frankly. And we'll have a chance to reevaluate his concert music in Cube 3, from what I understand. But here it is. It's 22 CDs. 22 CDs. And I think, yes, 22 CDs. There they are, which are actually less than the cube requires. But I assume we're going to have 3, similar sized things, but it's okay. It's all right. One of the things that's very, very surprising, we've covered quite a bit of film music on this channel. We'll be doing lots more because it's really one of the great media in 20th century orchestral music or classical music, in my view. And although it's a subgenre, I guess, of classical music, or maybe classical is a subgenre of film music, what's wonderful, actually, is that this repertoire is finally getting the attention that it deserves. And it's great that John Williams is alive to get the attention that he deserves, while he's still with us, and because he has such an extraordinary legacy. It's wonderful. I've been really, really surprised at some of the reaction I've gotten in the comments about Williams and some other film composers, but Williams particularly. People, there's been some very negative comments about how, it's all derivative and he just steals from other people and all this stuff. That is so not relevant. I mean, it really isn't. I mean, if that's your criterion for originality, then Handel stole from everybody. I mean, Bach stole from everybody. Nobody does anything first, and it really doesn't matter who does anything first. What matters is who does it best. And what matters is if the thing being appropriated is the right thing in the right place, used artistically, and how anybody could suggest that John Williams ever did anything less than that. I mean, you got to be on drugs. I mean, he's phenomenal, and he's also tremendously original. He really is. And he deserves credit, as Steven Spielberg points out in the nice little introduction. There's a lovely booklet with all these things in it. It was John Williams who brought the symphony orchestra back into the film studio with his scores to Star Wars and things like that. These big epic adventure and sci-fi classics. Film scoring had become very, very, it was more modernistic. It was more, pop and jazz possibly oriented in some respects. And John Williams is like Brahms. He liked the classical style. And back it came, and he did it with unbelievable panache. But his range was much wider than that, really. I mean, it really was incredible. So let's take a look and see what's in here. Now, not happily, a lot of these things combine soundtracks, from a couple films. So there's a lot in here. Let me just take a chunk of it out. You get original covers, or parts of them. It begins with, yes, The Reivers. Oh, I remember that, from 1969, and Images, Robert Altman, from 1972. This is before the big symphonic rediscovery of, power of the orchestra as an adjunct to the moving image. So there are those 2. Then we have The Cowboys. Did some cowboy stuff. Yeah, this is fun. There's a wonderful 2.5-minute overture on this disc that's really enjoyable. And most of these are small things. There's, a minute, 2 minutes, whatnot. That's the only problem with film scores. Sometimes you wish that the composers had made larger suites, which he actually did from some of his films. because the actual ideas are good, but they tend to begin nowhere and end nowhere. Andre Previn always said that the film scoring precluded the elongated thought. But, that's the nature of the beast. It's incidental music, and it's guided by the necessities of the action on the screen. Let's see, Earthquake. Oh my God, and the Towering Inferno. See, when I was a kid and I went to see these movies, I never paid attention to who wrote the music. I wasn't conscious of film scoring per se. I loved classical music, of course, but I was a kid. But the movie was just the movie with the music attached to it, and I never knew John Williams did these until much, much later, and they were fun. Remember, they were in Sense Around, and they had like Charlton Heston and Ava Gardner in Earthquake. She gets sucked into a sewer somewhere in the Towering Inferno with like every famous person you could throw into a building and then burn it down. I mean, it even had Fred Astaire. My goodness, what a fun movie that was. Then we've got Jaws 1 and 2, both of them on one CD, which is marvelous. You got more shark munchies than you could ever possibly hope for. Star Wars, the first one, A New Hope. I never liked Star Wars, actually, after the first couple of them. The Ewoks just lost me. They were just cute and cuddly and obviously made for post-movie marketing. You know what I mean? Oh my goodness. The last battle is a major sequence. It's 12 minutes of music. Solid, continuous, beautifully shaped, fabulous music. And this is, I don't need to tell you. And Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is also an amazing score, fabulously extended orchestral bits. There's not a lot of dialogue in this movie, actually. There's a lot of sort of whizzing around and special effects. So yeah, these are big symphonic scores that deserve credit as such. After that, we get the Sugarland Express, which is also a work that's full of music, in 1941. Boy, that has, look at that, The Invasion, 8 minutes of music. Solid music right there. So, to think that Williams is not capable of the elongated thought is just not true. The Fury, Brian De Palma. Oh, my goodness. That's juicy. It has some fairly extended passages. Then we go to Superman, the movie. Yay! Christopher Reeve, Superman, and Dracula and Monsignor, both of them, one on one disc. So these are fun. Dracula I saw, Monsignor I saw once, like on cable. It didn't actually do it for me, but it does have a really major work. There's a major work in here. There's a setting of the Gloria. The Latin setting of the Gloria. It's 5 minutes long. It's really pretty extended and interesting. The Empire Strikes Back. Need to go into that. Let's see. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay. That's got also some really fabulous big things. E.T. This is actually, it only has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tracks. And the last of them is 15 minutes long. That's as long as, Leonora Overture number 2. It's really quite a thing. Return of the Jedi, more Star Wars. He did all the Star Wars movies, so those are all coming back. More Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom. And we've got Space Camp. Space Camp. I went to Space Camp. Boy, oh boy, I never saw this. I didn't. I heard the soundtrack, but I have the soundtrack, but I never saw the movie. The Witches of Eastwick. Totally different concept. This is really a soundtrack that shows, John Williams' range. Because, after he did all those big adventure things, he had a reputation for doing these huge symphonic extravaganzas. And this is on a totally different scale. And it's tremendous fun. It's beautifully, beautifully written. Empire of the Sun. So that was Steven Spielberg. Okay. Yes. Empire of the Sun, The Accidental Tourist. Some of these other ones are really kind of the ones that I think have some wonderful, refreshing detours from the track that John Williams never got into a rut. Actually, he always was able to de-rut himself, That's the beauty of film music, of course. You go with the movie. And his range was just really unbelievable. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And then we've got Born on the 4th of July, Oliver Stone. Not a film that required a lot of music. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks here. But all of them are, or most of them are 4 to 5 minutes of solid music all the way through. And then Always, which has an opening 8-minute symphonic extravaganza to begin, and then Home Alone. Oh, what an adorable movie. Again, I had no idea that John Williams did Home Alone. I really didn't. I mean, I never even bought the soundtrack because to me, this is a score that works least well, frankly, away from the film. It's an adorable film, and the music fits it perfectly, and it's full of Christmassy things and all of that stuff, But I mean, I listened to it just recently, just now when I got this, I didn't even remember that, the music is something's opposed to the film, and it doesn't change my opinion. It's a wonderful score for the film. As a score separately, it's not as one of the more important ones in here, but it doesn't matter. You've got 22 discs with more than that, 30 or so films. Wow, that's quite a pile of stuff, and it's so good that they're putting this all together, finally. Let me see if I can put this back properly. It goes this way. That they're putting this all together in a couple of cubes so that these things are available. Because a lot of these soundtracks were out of print, you couldn't find them and all that stuff. So, I mean, thank goodness. It's back. It's backwards. Is it? No, I don't know. Home Alone. No, that looks like E.T. Oh, okay. Yes, I have it backwards. Macaulay Culkin's face was cut in half. All right, there we are. Fine. It's back, it's happy, and it's going to have an honored place on my shelf, and it makes life so easy to find these things now. Oh, I'm so happy. I just wish that I could actually get permission to play some samples of things for you. But alas, that is not to be, because of these stupid copyright policies that we have to deal with. Anyway, it's available. It's there. Go for it. Get it while you can, because these things do not tend to last long, and once they disappear, we're screwed. So keep that in mind, and keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.